Hello and welcome to Brodual. Today we have the Signature Equipment mod as well as a couple of extras thrown in. Signature Equipment offers a new form of gear progression in Skyrim. A legendary hero deserves a legendary set of weapons and armour. However, instead of simply building them up at a smithing station, you can now forge and temper them through the glory of battle. The mod enables your weapons and armour to scale throughout achievement. What this means specifically is that if you face different types of enemies, your gear will automatically upgrade alongside your character. So if the almighty Dragonborn slays an entire Stormcloak army with his frying pan, that frying pan's stats will reflect its iconic status. Or maybe if you wear the same set of boots throughout the entire Dragon Crisis, that lucky pair will be etched in legend, and also have the stats to prove it. The rate in which your gear grows will depend on the level of the enemies you face. So the Warhammer you caved into a dozen dragon skulls will grow much faster than the sword you wielded against a few bandit camps. Since vanilla Skyrim comes with enemies that scale alongside your level, this means your gear will grow much faster as you push into the late game. However, you'll also receive a multiplier in growth if you face enemies that are of a much higher level compared to your own character. To keep things simple, the mod uses the vanilla tempering system to upgrade the gear, meaning you can use it alongside or as a replacement for the vanilla upgrade system. How much of a role the mod plays will also be entirely up to you. You could keep things relatively simple and just use it as a casual way to boost your gear as you play. Maybe after you build up an item's reputation, you could then sell it onto a merchant for a bit of extra gold. Or instead, this could be a great way for you to install your favourite weapon mod and then use it from start to finish in a playthrough, without ever switching to something else. Maybe you want to use a simple but highly detailed sword, like the new Radzig Longsword released just a couple of months ago. This starts with fairly low stats, but through the hundreds of enemies you'll eventually face, it'll grow to become the most powerful weapon in all of Skyrim. Alternatively, and to keep things interesting, you might want to instead go for something like the Huntsman. This upgradable bow is one of the most customizable modded weapons available. It starts as just a plain old wooden bow, but through various upgrades you can add new pieces like a grip, a stabilizer, and even a scope. You can also mix things up a bit by painting it with a selection of patterns. This way your weapon will not only grow through its stats, but also its appearance. In the mod menu you can adjust how fast your gear progresses and even set limits on how much of a bonus they can gain. So instead of leaving it uncapped, you could set it to only give a small bonus to your gear. This could potentially offer a more realistic approach to the mod. It could emulate the feeling that as your character becomes more comfortable with a particular weapon, they become more effective and deadly with it in battle. Almost like how you break in a fresh pair of shoes before they become as comfortable as they're supposed to be. As of the mod's most recent update, it now also supports unarmed damage growth. So as you pummel your enemies with your bare fists or rip out their eyes with your bare claws, your unarmed damage will scale just like a piece of gear. Which is great if you're roleplaying as an unarmed monk and don't want to rely on a larger perk overhaul to progress through the game. And speaking of roleplaying, I think that's where the mod's potential truly lies. It doesn't entirely make sense that your weapon or piece of armour gets stronger. If anything, a mod that makes them worn out and need to be repaired would be 100 times more realistic. But for the sake of roleplaying, the mod can be a lot of fun. If you like the idea of the mod but want something a little more fine-tuned, you might want to check out our Royal Armory Spotlight. This adds iconic named weapons for all of the most important NPCs in Skyrim. Similar to the legendary weapons seen in other fantasy series like Ned Stark's Ice or Bilbo Baggins' Sting, this mod adds unique weapons for over a dozen NPCs. These all come with their own backstory, with unique appearances, enchantments and stats. Whether it's General Tullius's Judgment or Galmar's Stonefist's Foebreaker. So if you're interested in that, we'll include a link down below. And that's the end of today's Spotlight. As always, be sure to leave endorsements on any mods you enjoy. And once again, we'd like to thank Rave for sponsoring this video. Rave is an app for both Android and iOS that perfectly synchronises video for you and your friends. Whether it's YouTube, Reddit or even an entire series on Netflix, Rave seamlessly syncs the video even if you're thousands of miles apart, letting you text and chat at the same time. It even supports VR. To get it today you can find a link down below. And as always, thanks for watching.